to get right into this week, I want to talk about ways to mentally pull yourself up when you are feeling down, even if it is seen as a result of someone else. We have the power to decide what matters in our strategical strides to fulfillment in our lives. This is Just Forget About It, episode 45. So, to say the least, y'all, life has been transitioning for me. I wanted to say life has been lifing, but I feel like that's kind of overused. And I have said that in the episode. And funny enough, an episode when I had these pants on, I think it's episode 3, when Grace ain't Grayson. But either way, whatever metaphor you want to use, when you're going through changes in life, and as the seasons change, a lot of us experience seasonal depression, knowingly or unknowingly. So, to say the least, a lot like what you guys have been experiencing, your girl's emotional stability has been up and down. And it may be reflected in the way that I may have been posting. And that's neither here nor there. But I just wanted to have a level of transparency for you guys to understand. So, I still been fighting the good fight. As I'm back at it, 45 strategical strides. We talking this out. I want to highlight aspects for those that may find themselves within the same mental labyrinth. I also did an episode about labyrinth mental entrapments because it's real, y'all. Strategical strides. Now, strategical strides relates to our ability to positively change directions in our mental exhaustion, confusion, doubt, fears, or ruminations. So things you can't get over, things you feel like were unfair, things you feel like were as a result of any circumstance outside of yourself, within yourself, you may not even recognize it. It could be a plethora of things is what I'm trying to express. So how do we do this? Not the ruminations, but pull ourselves out of this within still remaining strategical in our strides to fulfillment. Now, there is no one size fits all solution, but a positive change in whichever one of those emotions that we experience at any given time is one step in the right direction. So how I do this is not by beating myself up and wallowing in these emotions, because it's a difference between wallowing and sitting with those emotions. I like to believe that I sit with those emotions. Now, the difference between sitting and wallowing is when you wallow, you allow those emotions to control your behavior, your thought process, and even sometimes the confidence that you have in your ability to carry on, to continue. When we sit with those emotions, this is the start of an evaluation towards our strategical strides. So when we sit with these emotions, we then start to critically think about what type of control or lack thereof the emotions may have over our lives. Now, I like to go through a little point check with myself and ask questions. And some of the questions I ask myself, and you may ask yourself, is, can I truly accept the reality of what has happened? Why it's happened? Now, think about the control or lack thereof it has created in your mental state. Now, when I say lack thereof, I mean giving way to numbness, to behaviors of negligence or neglecting things that would normally mean something to you. Now, is this helping or hindering my overall cause of what I see for myself, regardless of how far I feel from it right now? Regardless of how far I feel from it right now, is it helping or hindering my cause? Now, for me, to share a little bit of a personal story, I had to use this evaluation when dealing with someone very close, near and dear in my family. Now, to keep this on the bright side and on the right side of things, and not to be trauma bonding, we talked about that too, episode 10. But I had to move to the question of thinking about control. And I had never assumed the control that it had over my life by hindering major aspects of my thinking. Thinking as far as relating to people, trusting people's level of honesty with the experiences that I had with this beloved family member. Now, in this evaluation, it was very painful, but it was my duty and my strategical stride to my fulfillment, which is still in progress, y'all. My duty and my strategical stride to my fulfillment has been simply believing in myself and understanding I am enough and tagging back that I am enough to the actual capacity of what the relationship was holding me back from versus what I was giving and receiving. It unfortunately had to be sacrificed. And I want to say, so on a higher level of understanding, in order to get our fulfillment in anything that means something to us, and if there is anything in our lives that is on a continual basis that makes us feel less than able or capable to achieve those things, must be sacrificed. Now, when I say sacrificed, I don't mean killed off, thrown away as if dirty trash. I mean put away and out of your mind without resentment, but with love and hope that one day standing in your power will not only bring you more strength, but also bring many others to their own, while also having hope for the future of bringing equilibrium to the very situation that was a catalyst for your strategical stride to fulfillment. So on a less philosophical level, sometimes sacrificing unhealthy or expired exchanges is the best way that we can honor our relationships with family members that are elders, whether it be a parent, whether it be a aunt, an uncle, whether it be an older brother or a sister. Because in the Holy Scripture of the Bible, it says, honor thy mother and your father and thy days will be long. And sometimes, guys, what I'm trying to say in our strategical strides, the honoring comes from removing ourselves.